Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of TeachTechPlay. I'm Eleni Kuritzis and I'm one of your hosts. Tonight we have a fantastic lineup of presenters from the UK, New Zealand and Melbourne in Australia. So we're really excited to have them here sharing a range of tools that you can use straight away in your classroom. But before we get started with tonight's show, we've firstly got to congratulate our episode 27 winner, which was Matt Miller with sketchnoting paper 53. And I know that Matt will be at our upcoming conference in April, which is only, well, now I've got to work it out, about 8 weeks away, I think, if my calculations are correct. And he'll actually be doing a session on sketchnoting at the conference. So make sure that you do get your tickets soon, because ticket sales are up by 40% from last year, which is extremely high considering we sold out last year. So make sure that you do purchase your tickets ASAP. I would hate for you to miss out. Session descriptions are up on the website, which I'll show you where you can find them in a second. But make sure you do check that out. For tonight's episode as well, make sure you follow us on Twitter using the TeachTechPlay hashtag, TTPlay. For all information and to be put in contact with our presenters. Now, I forgot to introduce you, Steve, and say hello. So do you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Tonight we have an awesome lineup to kick off 2017. And really excited that some of the people who are presenting tonight are also going to be presenting at the TeachTechPlay conference. So we'll get to hang out and chat and discuss further. But tonight's show promises to start the year off brilliantly. So I'm really excited to see what everybody else has got to share.
Fantastic. Thanks, Stephen. Exactly right. Kicking off the year is always an interesting episode. I know teachers are stressed out, trying to get back into the swing of things, but also need some new and creative ideas. So hopefully we can bring that tonight. Now, before we do get started and I introduce our wonderful presenters, I'm just going to share my screen with you all because I've just got something to share. So here is the link for voting tonight. You can also find this on the TeachTechPlay website and the hashtag that you can follow. So make sure you do follow that to get in contact with our presenters and everything. As I said, the conference is just around the corner, so make sure you check that out. And the sessions can be found on our website under Conference tab. If you scroll down, you'll see here under Sessions, there's a link there to session descriptions, and then that will take you to a spreadsheet. These are subject to slightly be changed. Maybe a session might move from one session to another, but these are what we have so far, which is looking absolutely fantastic. And Notosh have created a wonderful introduction to the conference, which we're happy to share with you guys on next month's episode. So make sure you do check that out. The other great thing that we do have at the conference is late last year, a dear friend of ours passed away, Nathan Jones, and he is a mentor, a friend, a supporter, I don't know, I don't think anyone could speak one bad word about Nathan. But what TeachTechPlay has decided to do this year is to create an award in memory of him. So this award is open to all teachers within the first 5 years of teaching. And for more information, you can simply go to the conference page to find out. And there's some great things there in the prizes for that award. It's just a tribute to Nathan. We knew we wanted to do something but didn't know what, and with permission from his family, we've decided to create the Nathan Jones Award. So we hope that everyone can be part of this, and if you know a teacher who's only been teaching 5 years or less, which actually includes me too, and I wish I could apply. That would be really great.
So you can't rig it, Eleni. The prize pack is too good. You can't rig it.
Yeah, I know. I think it wouldn't work if I was the winner of that prize. But
oh, look, yeah. I won.
Oh, funny that. But yeah, make sure you do check it out. It is in memory of him, and we know the great things that he has done, particularly with iPads and Spheros. So you're very lucky because they are 2 prizes as part of that. So enough of everything going on because it's super busy. We've also put accommodation on the website for people traveling interstate or overseas. We've got someone from every state and territory of Australia and New Zealand, I can say, because we have got Steve coming from there as well. So make sure you do jump on and get your tickets. But enough of that. Let's say hello to all our presenters. So from across the bite, we have got Steve. Do you want to introduce yourself? And I know we've had you before on the show, Steve, but tell us again what you do.
Yeah, so I think last time I was on was actually at a previous school. Last year I shifted school and I'm now deputy principal at Linfield College. So yeah, last year was my first year in a senior leadership position. So things have kind of shifted a bit for me, and I'm now in the classroom all of about 4 hours a week. But yeah, have a long history of sort of getting involved and trying to help people really change up what they're doing in the classroom.
Beautiful. Thank you, Steve. And I'm really excited to see your sessions that you've put up for the conference. They look very intriguing. We have Rachel, who unfortunately last time got stuck with Google telling her the wrong time difference. So we're glad that you found the time and could join us tonight. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I work at the International School of Amsterdam, and I teach year 3 MYP mathematics. So I teach an international in the classroom, and I teach full time. So I'm really just, a lot of what I do with technology is I just play with it, try it out, see if I like it, see if it's easy for me, and then I like to just share it with other teachers to make their lives easier.
Fantastic, Rachel. You sound a bit like me, full-time in the classroom, and do everything we can and keep going. And it's the best thing. I know that I thought about moving out of it and I just couldn't do it. So I love being in the classroom as well. And I'm at a PYP school. So
oh, great. Yeah.
Exactly what you're going through. So it's great. And John, we have you all the way from the UK.
Hi there. Yeah, so my name's John Neal. I, at the start of this academic year, took up position on the SLT at House in London International School as digital learning leader. I've been a teacher for 10 years, but now I only have, similar to Steve actually, like a much reduced time in the classroom myself, and I spend the rest of it supporting colleagues and students and the kind of greater school community. And I'm also a Google certified innovator and trainer and Apple Distinguished Educator, and really pleased to be here. Thank you for having me, Helene.
No problem, John. I know that you're a long-time viewer, so it's always great to have viewers, long-time viewers on the show. It's good to know people watch our show and get something out of it, which is always exciting. And last but not least, we have Cam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cam. I'm from work down on Mornington Peninsula and just started a new role as STEAM coordinator at a P12 school, and really looking forward to talking with you all tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cam, and we love having you on the show tonight as well. So tonight's show is going to be really, really exciting. I know that all the tools being shared are stuff that you could actually take back, and as we are all teachers, it's practical for you. So to kick off the show tonight, we have got Rachel. Rachel, let me know when you're ready and I will start the timer. So you've got 4 minutes.
All right, I'm ready.
Off you go.
So I discovered Pear Deck about 6 months ago, and I just think it's so easy for teachers, and it's a really nice way to engage. I know my middle schoolers love it, and they love just typing in the code, which I'll show you in a second. But middle school, even high schoolers really, and the younger ones can also pick up on it. So I'm just going to share my screen with you now. And then if anyone's live joining in, they can also type in the code by just going to peardeck.com/join. And then they can type the code in and follow along with us. So I'll give people a second to do that. So the great thing about this is that we can control in 2 ways. So I can control my students' screens. So if you notice, your screen has changed. I don't know if anyone's seen, has anyone seen Pear Deck before? Okay, yeah, maybe some people have. So I'm controlling the screens of the students now, and I'm leading the conversation. So if you just want to click and answer that question, we're going to play around a little bit with it for a minute or so. And while you're answering, I'm going to go into, if I click down here, I'm going to open my dashboard. And what that shows me is it shows me my student responses. So that's what is really important as the teacher. So I can see that 2 of you have used Pear Deck before and 2 of you haven't. Okay, and you can lock the student responses when they start to get annoying and they try to move around. And we can also unlock the responses. And then I'll just throw you guys kind of through it. You can click what your response is, And again, as a teacher, I can see we've got some teachers, we have some people who haven't responded yet, and it's great. So it's in live time, and it gives you that feedback right away. So it's a really good way to open a lesson. But what I've been using it for lately a lot is this feature where I'll put a question for my students, and I'll have them write out step by step. As a math teacher, I'll have them write out their steps and solve the question. And then the nice thing for me is that I can see every single student response and in real time. And what I do every day is I usually put 2 or 3 questions, the math questions that I really want to know if my students understand or not. And I'll put them on here, and then I'll just quickly scroll through for myself and see if they're getting it right or not. And then I'm able to give them feedback in real time. So there are a lot of cool features. You can draw over any picture. So I uploaded this picture. So you can draw in maybe a place that you've traveled before. And the kids love this. They really just eat it up. They think it's just so fun. And they really like to see each other's responses too. So yeah, I think it's a really great thing for teachers. Yeah, and I like to put in websites so you can sketch a graph if you want right now, if you remember what a quadratic equation is. Let's see if anyone, oh, very nice. Elaine, very nice, John. Wow, so impressive. So yeah, it's great. And the best part too, though, is that you can also send them on student paced mode. So I'm going to turn on student paced mode.
1 minute.
And now you guys are able to just go through by yourselves, so on your own. So I usually send my kids to do this, and then they're able to go through the rest of the deck. You can add YouTube videos in there, images, websites like Desmos if you're a math teacher. That's really helpful. But really, you can see that there's so many possibilities with this. And yeah, it's great. What questions do you guys have about Pear Deck? It is kind of expensive. The free version only allows you to do 2 types of responses. And then I'll stop sharing now. And then if you get a year-long version, I think it's $99, and then you can do all types of responses. So numeric, text, drawing, and yeah.
And your time is just about to go off. There you go.
Perfect.
Perfect
Rachel,
timing.
I'm really interested to know, if you are somebody brand new to it, how quickly could you learn to use it?
I think really within 30 minutes if you play around with it and you just look at the features and you can really understand it. And that's how quickly I picked it up. And that's what I like about it for teachers, is that it's so simple, and it's just so obvious where the controls are and how to really use it. Yeah, so pretty quickly.
Awesome.
Rachel, sorry, Steve. Rachel, what age group do you think it best suited for? Because I teach usually year 10 to 12, so secondary students. Do you think that would be useful for that too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, the fun sort of aspect really hits the middle schoolers well, but I do think that for high schoolers, it's absolutely okay to use too.
Thanks.
Were there any other questions?
I was just going to say, I think it's a great tool. I think that was, it was a really good demo as well of all the different features. I think that, one of the great things about it is that, that when you have images and the class are moving their dots around, I think that as a teacher, that in contrast to other kind of similar tools, is that you can actually see them moving it live, and then that the ability to pause what the students are doing and to get them to discuss where they are now, and then to maybe have them then reflect on their answers and see if they want to change according to their peers. I think that's some, like as Cameron was saying, that's the way I've used it, like with older students, is them to get to reflect on decisions. And you get really nice reports at the end as well. So you get like nice reports you can see from it. But no, it's a good tool, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Pear Deck as well. I think it's just great, the versatility and the ways that there's such a range of templates in there. I know it's limited in the free version, but just for teachers to get an idea of what is possible, it is absolutely fantastic. So huge thank you, Rachel. And don't stress, I know that you may be teaching, so if you do have to run, we do understand. And thank you for finding the time, because I know it's always hectic with our time zone, but we do appreciate it. So next up, we have got Cameron. And Cam, you're going to be sharing with us Osmo, coding for kids, which I came across a couple years ago, which is absolutely really, really cool in a way, where kids don't really realize what they're doing. So let me know when you're ready, Cam, and I'll start the timer.
Not a problem. Just let me share my screen. All right, we're good to go. Hi, everybody. As Lenny's just alluded to, I'm going to be speaking about Osmo. And as Lenny said, it is an awesome tool where students actually get in and start playing, and they don't actually realize they're actually learning. So it's actually a program specifically designed for aged 5 to 12 kids, but any kids can do it. It also allows students to be able to interact with their iPad by providing many different opportunities for that hands-on play. The link is down the bottom, playosmo.com. Now, what I was going to go through tonight, more of a little description of what we can use in terms of the games. Now, as you can see there, it is a very much hands-on activity, which obviously for that lower primary age group is key to be able to engage them within the classroom. So one of my favourite ones is the Tangram game, where you can actually play around with different shapes and actually work with them to better understand what shapes can do and how to exercise spatial and visual problem solving awareness. Numbers, obviously focusing more on the maths side of things, but the best part is that you're able to put more tiles, subtract, multiply, and just allow students who aren't maybe the best at mathematics, but the ability to build their skills up. And it's also a really big challenge for everybody in that lower age group. Coding probably is my favourite. I have children myself, and just watching them work together as a team, but also watching them try to understand how best to get from one area to the other is just, as a parent, so cool to see. Encoding allows the students to be able to understand logic, problem solving some more, but also help them succeed in our digital world. And the best part is it actually gives them that opportunity of having something physical in their hand, but also able to build some basic sequences. Newton is one that we've seen probably in a more PC-based field, but the best part about this is that you can use any pieces of paper or anywhere around your classroom and develop that problem-solving skills, and also work towards falling on-screen objects, which is pretty cool. And there's, as you can see, there's 60 different levels of fun. And that's the name of the game, isn't with our education, being able to build fun into our teaching. Now, before I finish, I've got a quick video of my kids. I've made sure there's no faces involved, but of them just playing the actual coding game. So let me see if this works. As you can see, they're all wanting to get on top of each other to have a go.
Thirty seconds.
Well, that's it. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Cam.
Awesome.
That is wonderful. And I loved seeing your kids playing it, and even the one just pushing the other one out the way. Like, no way, I've got this. I know I've seen Osmo being played with the tangrams, but I hadn't actually seen the coding feature of it. And that looks really amazing, the way they can just group it together and then play it and see what it does. So it is quite amazing with where that technology is coming and how tactile it is for kids to play and learn from. So thank you for sharing it. No one has actually ever shared that before, which is great. I think it's because it's one of those things that is hard to demonstrate because of the way it works on the iPad, but really thank you for sharing. Were there any other questions or comments?
I think we have to make mention that Cam has. So he needs the fact that you're using Osmo. You're using Osmo. Who even get to play it?
Well, it's an easy way to get half of the kids out of the way first, and then I can deal with the others later on.
Parenting 101.
Fraction.
Is anyone else using it at their school or have used it before? No?
I've not known, but it looks great. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Cam.
Thank you, Cam. So next up is myself. So I will be starting the timer in just 1 second. Alrighty, and sharing my screen. All right. So can everyone see my screen? Someone tell me.
Yep.
Perfect.
I can say it so.
Perfect. Alrighty. Tonight I'm going to be sharing with everyone VizMe. Now, VizMe is something that I came across in the holidays. So I'm always looking at ways of making my everything visual that I make more appealing and more creative. So VizMe has a free option, and then obviously there is a premium option as well that gives you full access. Now I have got the premium and I'll show you what it looks like. So once you log into VizMe, you have the option to create a few different projects. So if I go create new VizMe at the top, I'm going to go TeachTechPlay episode 28, continue. What it allows you to do within this program is you can choose from presentation, infographic, banner, or a blank. You can make your own sort of thing. Now, I've only played around with presentation, infographic, and banner. Now, there are a whole lot of templates already here for you. Obviously, I've got the premium account, but the other accounts, there are less features, but still, it just gives you a more interesting visual background. And I know as teachers, we're always trying to engage our students and present things in different ways. But my favorite feature of this is the infographic. Infographics are becoming very popular as they're visually attractive, and kids love sort of going through them and seeing all the different features. Now, there are hundreds of templates in here, from resumes to all about me. And you know, one great one here is this one that is all about me. So if I wanted to do this, obviously being the beginning of the year here in Australia, I could go into this and have my students create all about them. So come on, internet, don't let me down now, going live. So once I'm in here, I've obviously got the template. I can add my own images. So it jumps straight to my computer and I can select an image that I want if I can find one of myself. Somewhere here, probably not. I really should have cleaned up my computer to begin with, and now I'm rushing. So I've just put a photo of myself in here, replace selected. I can change the name. I'm trying to do this quickly. I can say where I am from. I could say my interests. I can change a whole lot of things. Great way if you want to update your resume even. I can change profile. I can put in lots of information. I can put images. So on the right-hand side here, you can change the background. So I can change the colors of the background. I can change the shapes and images. So you have got a whole range of options here of different images that you can use to create. You can upload your own images or search free images to use and share. So I can just drag and drop those in. It says not found, but then it will come in. I can also put charts. So I can drag map images. I can drag, you know, different dials, percentages, their thermometers. So no matter what you're looking at with your students, you can even create them for them to view, or they could create them. You can insert video, so directly from Vimeo or YouTube, copy and paste a video in and play that. You can also do audio. So this is really great if your kids are making something, you can send the link out or embed it onto a blog. You can even embed content into these visual images and then simply publish them. Now I'm just going to go back to my dashboard because here's one I created earlier if I've got enough time, hopefully. I've got two, so let's see how it goes. Is it going to open or is it not going to open? No, I'm running out of time. So here you can see is one I created for the TeachTechPlay conference. Beautiful image. I used one of the templates already made. And then the other one I already started fiddling my about me. I think the buzzer's about to go. There we go. And in here, if it works, hopefully it saved it when I was fiddling. So I sort of just added a few little bits of information. You can add holidays. So this was sort of what I was working on to introduce. So here's a video that plays directly when you send the link to somebody. So digital portfolios, there's a whole range of ways you can use it, which is pretty cool. All right, there we go. My time's up. So let me come back. I went a little bit over. Always hard going live, demoing.
Yeah.
Were there any questions?
We had a little bit of technical difficulties there, where we just had on YouTube live one, we just had Cam. So Cam, you're famous, mate.
Oh, I forgot. I had it locked on you.
He just looked really good tonight, so we just thought we'd focus on him.
I always do that. I always freak out. So I'll just quickly.
Do you want to do it again, Lenny, or do you want to share your slide deck?
I didn't even have a slide deck. I just sort of shared it. So I'll quickly go in and do a quick little run through. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Rookie 101. All right, can you now see it? I think you can now. It should be able to. So once you go into VizMe, you can go in and create. I'll just go back to the dashboard, leave. So it's really easy to use. Simply go create, and I'll just quickly go in here. I can't believe I did that. So you have options of presentation, infographic, and banners, and there's a whole range here that you can choose from, which are amazing. Infographic, I forgot to say, you can actually put in a keyword. So if you go profile, or actually I'll do timeline this time because I just showed, even though no one saw it, but timeline. It actually pulls up all the history ones. So there are a whole range of different timelines that you can choose. I'll just select this one, select theme. And then once you go in, you can simply click and change and add images, videos. So here I simply click and I change it. So, you know, when I was born, it might scare some people. You know, Melbourne. I can't spell, but if I want to change images on the left here, you can see I can change the background color. If I want to make it pretty color, I can search images from the web. So, you know, pull an image straight on, and they're all free to use images, which is really nice, especially when you're teaching Creative Commons. I can create a whole range of, you know, stopwatch images, battery times. There's also video, so I can add the link. I can also add, oops, I just added a plain one. Sound, so any audio, there's a whole free lot. I can always record my own audio and add it in. I can embed information in, shapes and arrows, and there's a whole range of things in here. So if I go people, if it loads any second now, it doesn't want to load, of course, when I want it to load. So, you know, if you're doing the human body, you know, you can have your students make one and label it. There's a whole range of different templates that you can do, and it gives you an online link. So that's perfect for digital portfolios and everything else. So I think that's enough. I shared enough, I think. Oops, my mistakes. But yeah, so hopefully you got a quick little eye and got to see it all and what is there. But there is a cost to it. But, you know, creating extra visuals is always fun. Any questions?
How much is it? How much is it, Eleni?
It is, there's a few different packages. It starts from $10 a month, and it can get up to, if you want your whole team and your whole business, up to $57 a month. But yeah, the standard one's just $10 a month, which isn't too bad for what you've got access to. I'll just share my screen again because I've just pulled up the cost one. So if anyone is interested, you can see it. So yeah, these are sort of, you can do up to 3 projects per month, limited templates, you can download it. So yeah, you can sort of see a few, you get extra features, obviously, the more you go through. So yeah, I really like it, and I just think it's another way that you can present things and share things, and another visual.
Well, we've all seen the most horrible slide deck. So I think for those people who have no idea about creating and designing slides, it's like the perfect place to start. It's like you don't need 400 different fonts. You have one font, and you have here's the colours that work, you know, with each other. So for those people, I think VizMe is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It is great in that way. And it's a quick way if you're a teacher. I know time is a massive thing, and you can just chuck visuals and chuck things together, and it's already, the templates are there, which I don't know about you guys as being classroom teachers. That's something we always struggle with. Alrighty, next we've got Steve, who will be sharing with us Shadow a Student Challenge, which I'm intrigued to know more about, Steve. So when you're ready, let me know and I'll start the timer. You ready, Steve?
I am, but somehow my title slide has disappeared.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
Off you go.
Is that echo coming through?
I don't have any echo. I'm okay, but the others are saying there is a bit.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm talking about Shadow Student, which is something that I did last. And sort of joined in, and it was a project in the States, but I found it great, and I've joined in again. And this map that you can see in front of you is of all the people that have signed up to do it this year, because it's on now. It's sort of normally in that start of February time. And you can see there the numbers that have signed up for this year. So, you know, like it's getting a really big movement, you know, sort of joining in from quite a widespread area. So what it's all about, right from the start, so it's organized by a group that's backed by IDEO and the D School at Stanford. And it's all about sort of trying to gain that empathetic insight into what's going on for students in your school. And so they've got a whole toolkit that takes you through, you know, the whole process. So it starts basically by signing up. You download the toolkit. School Retool are the people that run it, and they've got all these amazing templates to help you through it. So they say to come up with some learning goals at the start. Last year, I was new to the school. I was in the senior leadership position, and so really my goal was just to get to know what it was like to be a learner at Linfield College. This year, I'm doing it again, but we've had sort of one group of students that have not done so well, you know, academic result-wise over the last couple of years, which is our Year 11 boys. So I'm going to, you know, sort of really focus in on that. And so after whatever your goal is, helps to determine which student, you know, you're going to shadow for that day. And they've got all these great templates of letters to share with the student, you know, to see if they're okay with it, with their parents, with teachers, whose classes you're going to be in, and, you know, tips around actually, you know what, you've got to clear your schedule for that day and make sure you're actually going to be able to get their organised relief for classes, and to let staff know why you're going to be walking around in uniform and things that day. Basically, the idea is that you go and do everything they do. It's not about going and observing classes. It's about really going in and trying to look at things going on in your school from that student lens. And so there's a picture of me last year, kindly taken by one of the other deputy principals in the morning when I was getting ready, because I was shadowing a Year 10 boy, and we were starting off with PE. So there I was getting into my PE gear, ready to go. The really key bit is to really get curious, ask as many questions as you possibly can throughout the day. You're doing the same tasks that they do in the day. You've also got to try to take as many notes, take photos of things, doodle or sketch your thoughts as you go along, so that you've got as much data as possible at the end of the day to sort of work with. The toolkit has some, you know, some great ideas and some tools to help you through it. Some of them are question prompts to, you know, for you. Some of them are question prompts to ask the student that you're shadowing. Some of them are little reflection prompts, you know, for at the end of the day, to make you kind of really process through all that information. They then have reflection tools sort of starting from the end of the day, but then also sort of over that longer term to start going through from there. Okay, so what were those really key things that you observed throughout the day? What are the things that you felt? I know going from
30 seconds.
Going from PE into the other classes, I felt stuff, but it was about what happens after that. For me, I came up with a whole list of questions that then guided me over the rest of the year last year. Oh, there's my title slide. And so, but for me, what it did show was the power of actually getting that student perspective. So throughout the rest of the year, I got them to come in as part of our review of reporting. So take the challenge.
That was absolutely, thank you, Steve. That was absolutely wonderful. It's great to see how that actually happens. I have heard of Shadow a Student, but I didn't actually realize there was a whole framework behind it. So that's really intriguing. And I know we're currently going through our school review. And we're always trying to get an insight of how our students are thinking and how they are learning. So I know that's something that I can now take back to my school and definitely look at implementing. Does it only happen in February, or do they happen throughout the year?
No, so I mean, the big challenge is on now. So we're encouraging people to do it now, but it's open for people to do it all year round. You can go and download the toolkit at any time.
Perfect. Were there any other questions?
For me, Steve, I think looks like it's such a really rewarding and engaging chance for you and the student to really benefit from.
Yeah, I mean, I found it absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've done empathy maps where I've gone and sat, for a shorter period of time trying to look at things as a student, but actually going in and spending that whole day, it really opens up what's going on. And it was amazing, as someone, I was new and I'd only been at the school a couple of weeks, but all of a sudden, hundreds of the students around the school knew me, because by lunchtime, the kids were all looking out for, have you seen that DP who's wearing uniform and walking around in all the classes today?
Steve, what did you learn at the end of the day? Were you absolutely just knackered, or did you find that you connected with a group of kids? I'd really love to hear some of your insights.
I was really interested because I had just come from a school with, sort of 100-minute blocks, and I'd come back to a school with 50-minute blocks. And so it was really tiring going through 6 different things in a day. And so the one class where we actually had a double block of English was amazing to me, because I actually got time to sort of get a bit more in depth to it. But it was also really the key thing I got out of it was the conversations throughout the day with the kids. I actually did it shadowing a student in the class that I taught. And so actually getting to go and follow him along through all the other classes actually meant that, yes, I was shadowing that one student, but I actually got a good insight into what was going on for the whole class as a whole. And a lot of his mates are right on the edge of lots of things going on at school, and all of a sudden they were quite willing to come and have those conversations with me, because they saw that actually perhaps this is someone who's quite happy to look at things from a different perspective as well. Yeah. And so that was the really key thing, and that played out as we got students starting to come into giving feedback on what our reports should look like for this year, and all that side of things that started to flow on to other areas, which has been cool.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. That was absolutely wonderful. And I know that I'll probably be definitely picking your brain a bit more when you are out in Melbourne. I think the time we have on this show is not enough. So be aware that I will be picking your brain when you are out in Melbourne in April. Now, last but not least, we have John, who will be sharing with us Text Help Read and Write, which is a fantastic tool to support our learners in the classroom. So John, let me know when you're ready and I'll start the timer.
Okay, yeah, everything's all right with feedback or whatever else?
I think so, I hope so.
Because I'm going to be trying a couple of audio things throughout. If you just chip in to let me know if it isn't working, Eleni, that'd be great. But I'm ready to go. Will do.
Easy. Off you go.
So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. While that's setting up, So as Eleni said, the tool that I'm showing today is Read and Write, which is one of a few tools by TextHelp. It's great for obviously developing reading and writing skills, but it actually has some other features which are really cool within it. As much as I'm going to show you read and write for Google, it is actually available on all platforms. Lots of information on the texthelp.com website. So in the first document here, I'm just going to show you, so you click on the toolbar, and then there are lots of options which pop up. One of the easiest examples to show is just the reading
The
function.
modern Olympic Games or Olympics are leading internet.
Hopefully you're able to hear that. You can do things like you can change the
Perfect.
Okay. You can change the nationality of the voice. You can change the speed, etc. You can also, if there's a word that you're unsure about, so let's say that I wanted to find out summer, you have this toolbar here. If I click on dictionary, first of all, it gives me like a regular dictionary, and again, I can then play that back to me as audio.
Noun. The season. Noun.
Okay, but if I wanted to, let's say for younger learners or for students that might have English as an additional language, if I click on picture dictionary here, and it then gives me images which actually represent it, so you get your kind of traditional dictionary, but you also get a visual one as well. You can get something called screen mask, so for students that perhaps struggle with distractions or to focus on particular text, you can just click that and then scroll down at the user's own pace. I'm going to jump forward to next tab. You have a really translate function. So if I want to click on any word, for example, winter, and again, just accessing their toolbar, I click on translate, and it then gives me, it will then give me the, in this case, the Spanish translation. So I've highlighted here lots of words in green, which are words that perhaps, you know, that a student might be wanting to reflect on. Once you've highlighted these, you can click on this button here, which actually generates a vocabulary list, so you can see it's being created. And here's one I made earlier. So you get here, you have all the words along the side, you get the meanings, so the traditional definitions. You also get a picture dictionary, and then you can also, a student or staff can add their own notes in. Moving on to the next tab. So this is really cool as well. If you're highlighting things for different reasons, then you can collect the different highlights. So in this case, I've got blue and green. When I click those, so you might be, for example, you might have a project where you wanted to look at geographical locations or features, and then by doing this, you can color code them. Jumping back in, you can use their prediction tool. So go here. And it's a little bit like you might get prediction tool on your phone, and it will just help you to go through. So the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, for example, here. So it just helps students construct their new sentences. One of my favorite things.
1 minute.
Perfect. One of my favorite things is the ability to add a voice note. I think that's something that adds great functionality to Google Docs. So you just click here, and I can say, who is the current president of the IOC? I can then go to this one, and then when I share it with my students, they then have a voice note. So it's also great for giving feedbacks, So in addition to traditional comments you can do within Google, you can also do it like that. And then finally, very swiftly, just going to show you, so with the same tool, you can actually use it with web pages as well. So I can highlight text here. I can still build the same vocabulary list as I did before. There's actually something deep, and it's just getting to the end, but there are two cool functions. Simplify, which basically strips out all the busyness of a web page and allows students to focus. And I can combine that with the mask, like so. And then finally, I just read it, and I can do this. I can follow the record button, and you see this send. Once the recording's finished, I can then send that to my teacher, and that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you, John. That is a wonderful tool. I think, you know, no matter what age your students are, you can always adapt and change that for a range of lessons. And I know that we're all thinking tonight from these tools that have been shared, the versatility of how we can adapt and change them within our own classrooms. And that's the whole purpose of TeachTechPlay, is to connect teachers with teachers and share ideas of what we do and how we can use it. Is anyone else using text help or seen it before, or any questions for John?
I've got a question. John, for me, I think I reckon it would be awesome for the kids who are just struggling with that confidence issues with learning the English language and essay writing. Do you think that would be awesome to use?
Yeah, it's great. It's so as I said, it's actually part of a suite of tools offered by Textile. It comes alongside things called Fluency Tutor as well. But absolutely. So it's with Read and Write itself, it's a really good. So I only touched upon it there at the end, but the ability to go into websites and to be able to strip out all the media and the various links and things is really, really cool. And then you can kind of you can give that to students, and then students can practice reading through the text, and then once they're happy with what they've done, then they can share it to you in a slightly more private environment than perhaps in a classroom. I should say as well, so it is it's a paid-for tool for students, but there's a free educator version on the website. You just got to Google free educator read and write. And then they kind of tailor packages according to, I assume, size of classes. But it's something as well which staff have used for more than just developing reading and writing skills, but just to give quick assessment points and feedback points to students. As opposed to written feedback, just the ability to add that voice note is something which I know has really appealed to a lot.
John, how have your parent body gone with it? Because one of the things that, we were just discussing today about, providing prompt feedback to kids, say, for example, on essays, being able to hear your teacher's voice, just say your mum and dad are looking over the shoulder. So how have your parent body sort of, when they hear the feedback provided, how have they sort of taken it?
Well, I think so. When you're talking about the voice notes specifically, Steve.
Yeah, definitely.
So with the voice notes themselves, within the Read and Write for Google, they're all capped at a minute. So it actually teaches you as a member of staff, to kind of make your to make the feedback to the point, which is good. And from a student's, and I think the parents' goal is always for the students to be getting as much out of these things as possible. And when they hear the voice of a teacher, I think that really helps. So yeah, positive feedback, Steve.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you guys for tonight and being part of the show. I'm just going to share my screen and make sure I do share it properly. I can't believe I did that earlier, but it's all right. We all make mistakes. So as I was saying, please make sure you do vote for your favorite presentation tonight. I know it is extremely hard. They were all really, really good. So make sure you follow this link, or you can find a Google form on our website as well. So TeachTechPlay.com is where you can find all the information, as well as our community page, which we connect all the educators from around the world. As I said, don't forget to purchase your tickets for the conference. Ticket sales are 40% up from last year, are up 40% from last year. That's better. So make sure you do get in and get that. And as I said, the Nathan Jones Award is open for teachers in their first 5 years of teaching. So if you do know of a teacher who is doing wonderful things, would love them to submit something and hopefully be awarded his award. There is a fantastic prize in memory of him. We like to thank all our viewers tonight for watching, and we hope that you can all join us next month. We air on Monday the 6th of March. We're loving the 6th this year. The 6th of Feb and then the 6th of March, so it makes it nice and easy. And then we will not be having an April episode, as it falls on the day of the conference. So I can't do both on the same day, so we might take April as a miss and be back in May. So make sure you do check that out. And if you can't come, I know John and Rachel, I know you guys are really shattered. Your school won't send you out to be here for it, but you can also follow everything that's happening at the conference via a hashtag. So on behalf of myself and the team, we thank all our presenters tonight and all our viewers for finding the time and joining us for episode 28, and we look forward to seeing you all for episode 29, and we have a special episode there in lead up to the conference. So make sure you tune in, especially if you are attending, and if you have any questions, make sure you shout out to Steve or I. We're happy to help out where we can. So thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.